I thank the universal truth and the absolute laws of nature for guiding me, protecting me, and giving me the strength to endure the imperfect. I shall attack with vigor, making progressive moves. A divine mind knows, a divine mind shows. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. Peace and power to the people, the struggle. Salute, salute, salute. What's good, what's good, what's good. As you come on in to this space here, please be encouraged to dialogue, be encouraged to question, be encouraged to answer. We are here to educate and be educated. We are here to grow this tribe and help and assist and pull each other up on this path towards liberation. Peace and power, salute, 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 and let the tribe know we in the spotty spot. Share, share, share. What's going on, good people? What's going on this Sunday night? Not evening, Sunday night. Sunday night. See you in the building, Tata. What's good? Todd, what up? Gusta, what's good? As my moderators come on in, please make sure the green screen information is there. Please make sure all of the contact information is there for anybody who is in need of an anger management assessment. Joel, salute, salute, salute. What? What? It is straight madness. Straight madness. Severe ignorance going on during spring break in Miami, Florida. We do know that spring break historically all around the country, better yet, all around the globe, has been a space in time where some of the dumbest shit has taken place historically from its inception. We can go back to the 90s and just recall some of the weird things we've witnessed and heard about spring break, right? The alcohol abuse, the drug abuse, the sex abuse, the violence, right? Consistently, this has been consistently over the decades. But as again, and as always with technology, cameras, people filming consistently, we have witnessed and are witnessing some of this heinous crimes, specifically the loss of life. There are two videos going viral where young men have been assassinated right there in front of everyone. And I do believe in one of the incidents, they allegedly have a suspect. Of course, I watch the videos, but I watch videos from a different lens, and not to come off as somebody who is contradictory. I know what it's like to, feel that energy and, you know, let that thing go. I know exactly what that feeling is like. I've, you know, been in some very interesting situations. I'll put it like that. Um, but at any time, our people, young people, have lost their life. We definitely um, wish condolences on the families that have been affected, and would like to believe that those who were in the proximity and witnessed it get some type of trauma counseling, because not everybody is able to process something that severe and be okay afterwards, especially if it is under the umbrella of having a good time, of taking a break, and you witness something like that. It's very different. This is not a television show. This is not the movies. When you sitting in a pocket and you see that, you witness it, it takes a very different toll. And everybody's processing is different. Tune, salute. Christopher Farm, what up? I see you, Kelly Mills. Again, welcome everybody. As the tribe, come on in. Make sure everybody's feel welcome. Make sure everybody's engaged in the dialogue. And it's definitely can be viewed as a week in review. Some of the things that happened over the course of the past week I might have missed. So please be welcome to enter it into the chat, as I'm going along. What I noticed in watching these assassinations of these young people and the total disregard for the life of others was I saw another video, right? And this video is of Tekashi 6ix9ine out in the open in a sports event, Puerto Rico versus Mexico. And not only was he out in the open, he was intoxicated, what appeared to be intoxicated off of something. Don't know what it was. But here we have this individual who is a known rat. No other way to call it. He's a rat. And have said so much about himself and what we all know. And there's been a lot of talk and discussion about where he's from, right? And why haven't individuals from this area of where he's from done anything to him? So now, to try to use him as a statement of whether or not people are real from a certain demographic seemed a bit weird to me. It's a bit weird. Me knowing how any type of informant, CI, snitch, whatever, is taken care of and guarded once they're in free society. That's just cap and clout. When we have these discussions, well, why ain't nobody do this and do that and all this other, off the cuff stuff. the same can be said for those people who are putting those statements out there, consistently saying it, because as we see from these youngins who are putting in their work, right? Getting to it, or whatever other slang terminology they want to use. Here we have them, right here, intoxicated, not being able to take care of himself at all at the event in the same city. I'm don't know how close in proximity to the strip, because I've never been down there, but I'm quite sure there was absolutely no shade. Clearly out in the open, intoxicated off his feet, having a good old time. Even got into it where he had to be escorted out of the stadium. You dig what I'm saying? Now, when you watch that video, I watch for a lot of different things. I watch his energy, his presence. I watch who may be around him and who they may be. One thing stuck out to me while I'm watching this video. There's an individual in a red t-shirt who was able to back the police down with words and you know what I'm saying? Hand up like, I got him. Now, I don't know about anyone else, but I know in my town, wherever there has been events going on and chaos goes on at these events, law enforcement is on some bullshit. Everybody is feeling attention. So you mean to tell me, as someone who is a known rat, can be at a sporting event, intoxicated, wilding out, getting into it with other patrons, to the point in which they escorting him out, that somebody that's with him can back police up? They just had someone get their head knocked off. Right? Now, what they saying is, was Friday he was out there doing that? If I'm not mistaken, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, there was gunfire all up and through that strip area. Police should have been on it, because they sure treated them kids that was around those shootings real foul. They put a curfew in place, so I know there was no nonsense at that point. How the hell can this guy in a red shirt take total control over the situation when they were escorting 6ix9ine out? Who in the hell is he? What did he say to that officer? What did he say to him? That's what I want to know, because something was said. He said something, and then he threw his arm off and backed him up. So when we speaking, or when you have others speaking that, yo, ain't nobody do nothing to him, he running around in the town, which he really doesn't. Really doesn't. But he is in other cities. Dude moves around a lot, just like any other person of his status and stature. You know, with that tag, with the rat tag, with the snitch tag, they be out and about. Some of them they may take to other cities and work, so people know who they are. You understand? But they never know who's with them. Who are those people? Who are those people? That's the question. Who are they? Who was he? What was the magic statement that he said? Because they kept him out. They got him up out of there. Trust and believe they got him up out of there. However, they allowed said individual to take control. He took control of that. That's what I'm watching. I'm like, wow. Because if it was you or I, we might have got stomped out right there, right in the seats. Right in the seats without any explanation whatsoever. Listen, sir, we're going to ask you to leave. You seem to be under the influence, and anything we would have said, or any little shrug or, faint, oh, we'd have got scraped up. Full Nelson, all type of business. Nothing happened to him. Nothing happened to him other than him having to leave, be escorted up out of the spot. So again, we can just make the assumption that he is living his best life in other cities. Other cities where, I don't want to say innocent, where young people who are supposedly having a good time are getting their head knocked off. Getting their head, we're watching that. So if people really had that heat and really had that much animosity against him, what's up? What's up? Let's come on now. We're not talking about and I'm not sliding any spots. We're not talking about Oklahoma or North Dakota, We ain't talking about Corpus Christi or, maybe Maine or something. We're talking Miami. Miami. Dudes been getting their head knocked off since Griselda Blanco and them down there. You mean to tell me, right, that he's able to live it up, have a good old time down there? But, when it comes to this social media and podcast and YouTube spaces and all that, they want to throw shots at the NYC. Why y'all ain't do nothing? Y'all not official. He ain't up here with us, as y'all can see on a regular basis. And not to say that anything would happen to him should he be here, right? I'm not saying that, but guarantee you he wouldn't be like that. Intoxicated off his feet in a stadium. Nah. Nah, that wouldn't happen. Salute, Roach. That wouldn't happen. No. No. It hasn't happened. Won't happen. And I damn sure know that it wouldn't be attempted. So, I just had to make that point. I wanted to speak to that. You dig? I wanted to speak to that specific witness. Because this is what I did. We witnessing this right now. All right? We saw that. And to, to the young people who are out there in spring break, I really don't understand where violence to that level is being exercised in a space where the usual charge for the events is to dance, let off steam, do the regular boy girl stuff, meeting people from different colleges, different uh, cities from around the country and stuff like that. Um, for spring break to be a space that's going to be, at least in Miami, recognized for dudes losing their life. I mean, you know, it just puts a different spin. And for me, a father, excuse me, who was getting ready to send a child off to college, you know, it's a whole entirely different conversation. I mean, not that she's into, that type of activities and stuff like that, but I know what it's like to have a bunch of peers and to have um, sort of a new level of freedom, temptation to just want to explore. It's going to be heavy. It's going to be heavy, but I most certainly wouldn't like to have to be a parent where you are worrying whether or not you're going to lose your child. You understand? Um, in a space where they're believing that they're going to have a good time and relax. That shit is just crazy at this point. It is. It's really, really crazy. And yes, it is. Yes. The truth, lady. Uh, and I know you're getting ready for Ramadan. We can't, the anticipation of Ramadan coming is great. Alhamdulillah. Um, Not only is campus life dangerous, but um, there's danger everywhere we look now. All over, all over, all over. My tribe knows all too well that I speak on remaining militant. Hey, Cookie, salute, salute. Remaining militant, soldiering up, being aware of your surroundings, because this is exactly, the type of energy that, if you're not on point, you can really get hurt. So if college campuses at one point was the safest spaces, outside of faith institutions. We seen that over the last decade. People losing their life in church, people losing their life in the mosque, people losing their life right in the temples, people losing their life in hospitals, in grocery stores, college campuses. So, it just isn't, like I said the other night, we not safe here. But this extra layer of us not being safe around ourselves, right? That's what's highly stressful. We used to be safe among ourselves, right? We always had these little enclaves and space, even in our neighborhoods where we might have had, bully or two here and there. Through the decades, it has become where we cannot even sit among each other. That's how it has gotten. So what progress has been made where you're not even safe among your own people? Well, I mean, really, we not gonna excuse people who were in the life, were in certain lifestyles, and we watched from afar, how they went lose their life or be carted off to prison and things like that, but we're in a space now where we're seeing this almost every day, all day, regardless if you live in impoverished areas or areas where you may be doing a little better. Doesn't matter now. It doesn't matter, because the general situations that we are living in, right, on a daily basis, those conditions are getting very confusing and becoming very harsh. So people are acting out. They're acting out. And, I wouldn't want any of us to go through that, though, chances are many will be getting a call, or witnessing one of, their family members or close associates on one of these videos, on one of these viral. It's until we become the custodians of our own beliefs and work towards, creating these safe spaces. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be ugly, very, very ugly. Very ugly. We have to do a much better job than what we are doing, much better. And it's not only on us, right? Not only on us. Where some of us who are a bit more disciplined, and I'm choosing my words correctly, a bit more disciplined in the research of higher level thinking, have to, be more of a presence and speak much more about what others may not witness, right? Because when we see it and when we hear it, we're always the ones, right, who have to hold down the misery, have to be contemptuous, have to be the ones who are, it's them. It's even amongst our own, right? So all our issues and our makeup can be blamed for everything. Or we're always the poor, woe is me. It's always on us because of how we think, how we manifest ourselves, and how we are trying to get out of this disorder, right? This confusion. But very few of us, or very, very few notions, come to the realization that those who set this shit in motion, we need to start looking at them. We need to start examining their mindset. Because their mindset, their beliefs, is the catalyst for all this bullshit. We're not the issue. We haven't been the issue. Because we didn't start this. So when we're examining, right, possible solutions, when we're looking at specific factors, how come the mind of the oppressor, the mind of the degenerate who is seeking to dehumanize isn't understudy? How come we're not looking at them and saying, yo, hold up. Something must be wrong with y'all. Because not only did you set it off, not only are you the ones who can navigate because you're in charge of all this shit, right? But it come from you. This is a manifestation of you. Everything after that are copycats. So why are we not looking at that and saying, yo, hold up. We need to stop with the research of why these people were enslaved. We need to stop looking at why these people felt the worst of Jim Crow. We need to stop why were these people believing that they had to force themselves into believing that they can only survive through black power. Why? Look, hold on. We know all of that. We know we live that. When are you going to shift the gaze and say, yo, hold up? None of this shit would have been necessary if that individual's mentality was researched, was checked, was fault finding in it. None of this. None of it. What's wrong with you? See, so because once you do that, right, then you can start seeing solutions. It's difficult, right, for the oppressed to sort of, go deep within themselves and muster up enough energy to come up out of it. That, as we've seen, that takes work, that takes thought, that takes belief, that takes activation. And a lot of that doesn't happen within the same time and space for the masses. But if we shift the gaze, if we shift the point of research, if we shift the point of study to say, yo, hold up. All this shit come from you. The misfortune, the failing banking system, the failing police institutions, the failing faith-based initiatives and faiths. These things are failing under your watch, and many have been set off by you. So maybe the key is to look and find out what the hell is the matter with your brain. You understand? What is wrong with you and your makeup? And your makeup. That's how we start to fix this. Because at any true look at us, we have been the most humble, show the most humility, and in the space of humanity, been the most excellent example. I mean, who else has been through what we've been through and still can see good in these bastards? That takes the most perfect human being to do that. that means that our makeup is balanced, is in complete alignment. That means that we are the true representation, exactly, Kenny Mac, the true universal truth, the true universal beings. So why do we have to keep looking at ourselves to find fault, to correct fault, to research, to go back and forth and try? No, no. Go over there. What the fuck is going on over there? What is wrong with them? Hold on. If something is wrong with them, then we have to reject them. If their financial systems are failing, you have to reject that. If how they're processing and moving food throughout these food chains is failing because it's becoming bad food, it's spoiling, it's not enough nutrients, then we have to fall back from that. If the way that they're policing continuously ending up with us being falsely imprisoned for 30, 40 years or murdered in the streets, then we have to fall back. The issue isn't with us. The issue is with the initiator who set the shit off, and start examining that. It only makes sense. It only makes common sense. Once you become truly conscious, truly woke and aware, shit, they're even at this point of trying to twist the word woke around and give it some type of, negative connotation. You understand? So whereas, how dare you be woke? How dare you want to seek truth? Like what? So now, that's where we at with it now. So now you're going to take that, come on, y'all. Stop it. That's where we have to be at and where we need to be at when this shit is moving around. So again, even at your best, right? When you're up and coming into contact or in these spaces, you start to, get a little shaky. You start to, lose that confidence because your vision is off. You're not as sure because you're not used to challenging that piece. You have to challenge that piece there and say, now hold up, you're wrong. And there's no double talk, there's no parables, there's no type of Freemasonic order signs and flip that you're gonna fold to and all this other weirdo shit. Because your intuition, because it is from the sun, moon, and stars, lets you know that it's wrong. Stop hesitating when you get your spidey senses activated. You know this shit is wrong. You know the policy is wrong. You know it. But you relinquish that authority because you haven't been sparring. You haven't been sparring. You got to spar with these devils, man. You got to spar with them. And anybody who is of us that represent them devils, you got to spar with them. Let's stop this bullshit. Got to stop it. There's absolutely nothing that you can chase that they put here that's going to give you liberation. Absolutely nothing. There's nothing. Only thing you can do is become comfortable in your oppression. That is it. And if you can be comfortable in your oppression, I think you are sick. I know you are sick. I watched that sickness for years behind the wall. We are in prison. We are behind bars. There's all type of chaos going around. Stabbings, people committing suicide, people losing their mind. But I could bring, or somebody could bring you a pair of boots and you can sit back and be comfortable. Somebody could give you linen and all your sheets and all your towels and all your washcloths and your robe is one color, and you can be comfortable in that oppression. You are sick. That is a sickness. So I don't care if your ass is in a mansion, in a Rolls Royce. I don't care if you got 10 little musty ass, twatted little women sniffing all up in your goddamn grippers. You should never, ever be comfortable in your oppression unless there is something wrong with you. Everyone should be seeking liberation. Everyone. Everyone. Now, will everyone seek it? Will everyone know it? Will everyone understand it? Will everyone know how to claim themselves and call it? No. The best example we had was Harriet. When you going back and family don't want to travel with you to freedom or what they deemed as freedom at the time, shit, and those conditions was way worse than what we going through now. At least now we can look at it and see and read policy and say, nah, that's inequitable. And that's not right and exact. We can see it. When you're in those conditions back then, it was very difficult. So it was hard for them to even see an out. So if she couldn't get them who was getting lynched and beat and whipped with no not damn shoes and boots and all this other whack, she couldn't get them to motivate their ass to go and seek freedom. We know that we have a heavy task. We know that we have a heavy task in front of us. You understand? Darrell, Javon, salute, salute. Much appreciated for you coming through this night. And again, I'm going to, try to make up for a few missed bills over the course of this week. So I've been getting a lot of DMs and stuff. Any subject is good. Get the green screen information up, keep it popping, throw something, and let's get it. Let's get it. I know what I didn't have an opportunity to speak on, but I really wanted to. I just didn't get all of the specifics of this story. And for me, it's been something that I always spoke of because it is the foundation of what one deems as power and wealth. And when others don't, they really are out of alignment, especially in this space here where we're at. Other nations or other geographical locations understand it. We have never understood it. And I always say that these things hurt us more because we don't and never have owned ourselves. So in order for somebody to recognize something, to move on it, is very different than others who have owned themselves but just was in dire conditions. We have never. So some at certain points you just don't get it. But there's a story that I came across where a bunch of our people, remember, our people were sold deeds to land. And they were sold these deeds by the black woman. And I don't know how many times, man, if I knew how many times, right? Somebody said you need to purchase land, you need to get this house, I don't know how many times. And I know from being in consistent study of these people and of war and of the justice system and these legal tricks and stuff that no one owns any land here. We just don't. We don't. We don't. We don't. Um, it's rented. It is borrowed. And at any given time, when Fed want it, it's done. Simple as that. I don't care if it's heirs land. I don't care what it is. But this black woman who they show or who was the representative for this particular company or agency or group or whatever banner was under, put this info out, had all these black people purchasing these lands, these acres, these plots, and all that. Come to find out that I'm not going to say it was a scam, but the deeds, or she really wasn't the owner or the custodian of this property. You understand? And yo, they got these people in a fit. Was it purposely done? Because, now some legal action has taken place and people are asking for their money back, and it's a whole bunch of hemming and a hawing going on and this and that. Now, out of state, and I'll get to that truth, lady. Out of state, it's a lot of different things, and a lot of ways that is different from us up top, from New York City and other urban areas when it comes to ownership, when it comes to purchasing, when it comes to mortgages and deeds and all that. There's a lot to it. It's not as clean and clear as everyone makes it seem. Land is the foundation of everything when it comes to capitalism, when it comes to socialism, when it comes to communism, when it comes to feudalism, when it comes to land is it. When a person, a group, a nation holds land, all things are possible. Because when you have it, you have it. However, when we're dealing with higher level thinking, we cannot own this. It's impossible. It's impossible, right? Because we know that there's a universe. Like how can you own this? But because we're coming from a mentality that was put there, right? This is a teaching, not an education. When you are taught and you're being taught by your oppressor how to function, how to move, how to operate, you start believing it. That's how you manifest it, because you are thinking based on the trauma that you receive from these people who are deem themselves an authority over you. So if they're saying that this is how you get ownership, this is what it is, then you're really following that individual. You're not self-thinking. You're following and inheriting what they deem that you can have. Right? This is why the fight in Palestine and other areas is so, they don't play. They understand that the land is where it's at. So when you consistently are telling our people, and I mean here, black people, that you need this. This is a need for you here, knowing all too well that majority of them don't know what the hell they talking about. They just don't. It's like when they tell you, yo, let's get rich, this is gonna work, invest here, do this, do that, and people go all gung-ho with it. Yeah, that's what we need to do. Yeah, worry about financial literacy and all these other weird new names and terms that they trying to use for a system that somebody is showing them another path to allow you to move and believe that you're going to get more than the system. When you invest in the system continues to grow. You don't. You get a few crumbs and odds and ends more than your fellow individual, but you don't get shit. The system always gets more than you. Always. So, these people were up until this point beat out of their money for land that either this chick didn't owe or the company, whatever, didn't own and had no true authority to sell it. Right? Just like we're seeing now, they're saying that Shaq is allegedly hiding. Shaquille O'Neal is allegedly hiding because of this crypto shit. You understand? Things that they set and advertised and, did commercials and all that for him and Steph and a few others. Oh, is Serena in on that? Somebody else was in on it, but usually these are things that they pitch, that they push out to our people because, again, instead of attacking, right, and getting the head of the snake, people are seeking comfort. They're not trying to get rid of the oppressor and oppression. They're trying to be comfortable in it. They're trying to find a space where it's bearable for them. But when you conscious and woke, ain't none of this shit. There's no comfortable space for you. All of this is too much to bear because we acknowledge the injustice in it. We are looking, we see it, we live through it. And on the smallest scale, we can't stomach it. The smallest, right? The real shit, like the shit we see when what Karens are doing. The smallest scale, how our children are mistreated in schools. Small scale, we see it and like, nah, we don't want none of this shit. So when it's as large as, a banking system falling, when it's as large as, inflation, you not being able to buy food, when it's as large as you not being able, if you're playing fairly to get a loan. You dig what I'm saying? Because of your skin color and of your what do you call it? Social security number or your zip code. That shit is too much. But when you don't fight the head, you deal with the symptoms and you deal with the underlings, you keep bumping your head against the wall. You dig? Land ownership. is an absolute. They came and took this. All right? Let's not forget that. They came and took it. So at what point do you believe that they will allow the enslaved to own it? Any piece of it. Just sparks here. Just sparks. All right? That's it. We're dialoguing. It's truth. We're seeking solutions. Just have to be in the right, because it's a struggle to get our people to think differently, especially when it comes to our oppressor. I'm telling you, the reason why many of our leaders were so successful in their missions is because they got people to believe in what they were saying and showing them based on how committed they were to them and the work. That is the man. When anyone is a person who is really seeking to make moves, that is the once you can get people to think differently about themselves and about the mission, that is 90% of the battle. Listen, I can do a video outside and literally show you JWs, Jehovah Witnesses, who I can attest that they have been on the same corner since I was a kid for 40 years. I can show you women and a couple of men that I know for 40 years their mind has been locked and they have stood on the same corners selling or trying to sell watchtowers. 40 years. And that's when I've been paying attention, because I was classmates with some of their children. If our people were engaged into thinking about liberation the way some of us think and believe about displacement, different ways that we have become believers and manifestators of things that we didn't as a whole and as a group benefit from. No telling where we could be. No telling. Absolutely no telling. Belief, yes. Happy born day to Dr. Francis Cress Wesley. Yes, definitely. That's it. Think different. And you move. Now people don't. They don't. They just won't. And that is because, again, they are a living, walking example of our oppressors. Even in resistance, they resist in the way of which they were taught by those who they should be in total resistance of. That's how it is, you know. But that was a very disturbing piece for me, that was our own, or that was their own people that duped, and they was taking chunks of money, 10 grand, 11, 12 grand, 20 grand for land you didn't own. Come on, y'all. Wicked, wicked, wicked. Wicked. But again, it's always done to the right people, the right individual. Because, couldn't be me. Couldn't be me, couldn't be me, couldn't be me. Nah, no way. But, I definitely wanted, because that's key. That's key. That's one of those carrots that they continuously dangle. In your face, like, here. If you get this, you good. I just watched, was that 60 Minutes or Sunday Morning? What's going down in Eatonville, Florida, where this town was a town that's established by a black man, and just like hold on, let me go back. Hold on, give me a second. Where they said they don't want to sell to us, right? And I believe that was Truth Lady, right? That they don't want to sell to us, and they never did. And the elder, right, now the ancestor, who found a way to get two Caucasians from up north, right, to sell him this land, established this town. And through the years, they've been chipping away at it. It was there, and schools were established to specifically teach our people trades and this and that, and how to navigate. And now a school board, or whatever they want to call it, is selling and attempting to sell the land piece by piece. And now they got a black developer. You see this? A black developer. And of course, everybody in the town voted it down when they had the little political policy board. We call them local area policy boards and community districts. Voted it down, but the school still has it. The school board that really runs and owns these little pieces still got the shit up for sale. And the developer hasn't said whether or not they won't purchase it, even after the people said, we don't want you here because you're getting ready to disturb this shit. It's getting ready to get out of hand. Black people. And I'm sitting back and I'm thinking, after I'm watching this, like, these people are, if you do the research, these people will be considered FBAs. Guarantee you, homie that was there representing this development space, yeah, yeah, because none of them look any different, sound any different, or represented differently. So these again are our people trying to displace another group of our people for corporations. And when you say for corporations, we all know that all corporations work for white supremacy. All corporations work for the institution of this flag because, again, they utilize everything within their power to make sure they pay up. Everybody pays up in this country. Everybody pays up. The banks pay up. Corporations pay up. Everything pay up for that damn flag and that bald eagle and what this shit represent. So they all pay up. All of them. All of them. So if you are a corporation, best believe that you are in alignment with the agenda, whatever agenda it says. Some of them don't even know what it is, but they damn sure know that us, it's a no-go, no bueno for you. No bueno. And as I spoke earlier, we need to examine the head. We need to examine the soul of those who oppress. Because they are the ones who are inhumane. You just got to ask yourself, I don't care where you're at on the globe. Our people, the people with the most melanin, are treated unfairly. Inequitable. I don't care where you are. If you're in China, black Chinese are getting their ass kicked. If you are in India, the blacker and darker you are, the less you get. If you in Dublin, I don't care where you at. That's a problem. That the more melanin you have, the worse off you are. In Brazil, in Haiti, in Dominica. So much so that now that everyone who identifies as white are becoming unified. So now that they have Asians representing as white or Euro, that's what they're checking off. That is what they're representing. That is what they're coming into these corporations, into these think tanks as. They're not coming under a melanated banner. So how do people who don't even speak the same tongue is in total alignment and allegiance to the death, right, imprisonment, or over labor of our people, of melanated people? The German speaks Deutsch. So how is he in alignment with the American when it comes to our black ass? Portuguese, Argentina, they identify as white. And the task for whitey is to make sure that you remain in your present state, and that is a state of total and complete rule up under that. This is what it is. This is what's going on a regular basis. On a regular basis. Can't nobody tell anybody any different. And we are feeling heavier and heavier brunts of it now because it is obvious. It's obvious. Our scholars may have had a difficult time speaking and being recognized for their work, like Dr. Uh, Welsing, like Noble Juali, right? They may have had difficult because our people was in the space where we not trying to hear nothing you say, you know? Dr. Khalid Muhammad, Huey P. Newton. You understand what I'm saying? They might have had a difficult time. Malcolm, Elijah, Farrakhan, right? Patrice Lumumba, Winnie, Mandela. They may have had a difficult time because people didn't want to accept the information. You understand? Now it's obvious to adult. It's obvious. So if you don't see it, it's because you don't want to see it. Say it. Say it. Say it. You can't. The question is, how severe do these conditions have to get before it lights fire up under your ass? That's where we're going with it. That's what's going to happen. And it's coming. Okay. I know I said I wanted to be on, but I'm not seeing any questions, answers, green screens, nothing. I think I might as well go ahead and keep it moving. I mean, are y'all hearing me? Can I get some purple hearts? Y'all might not even be hearing me. Y'all hear what I'm saying? It look like I'm by myself tonight at 73 minutes. Like, what's good? Y'all hear me? You understand the dialogue? Where we going at tonight? No response? What's good? Or are you two playing games? Because I don't even see the chat. What's going on? Talk to me, y'all. Okay. I see you, George. I see you, Okay, now. Let me know. Getting a little earthy and parched. Jake. Okay, now. I appreciate it. That's what we're doing. You know, anything else that wanted me to touch on, let me know. Let me know. I've seen some foolishness too. See, yes, Malik, we spoke on that. Yes, everyone's getting ready for Ramadan. Right, Fredro, what up? Yes. Alhamdulillah. Kundalini energy, yes. I seen some foolishness and you know, some of these people done lost their rapid ass mind. I'll tell you that for a fact. Some of these people done lost their rabid ass mind. And I done spoke about her twice already. I'm trying to leave this woman alone, but she's starting to sound dumb as, all right? This loss of Pippin. Well, like, what is the matter with her? Trying to be easy. I'm really trying to be easy. But something wrong, man. And I keep telling y'all, yo, they be putting a chip in some of these people. I'm serious. They be putting a chip. This woman had the nerve, not even a nerve. Like I said, her mind can't be right. So she had sex 4 times a day, every day. She said for 23 years? Let me get that right, because that might be coded. Because why did she say 23 years? Hold on, y'all, because I just caught that. She said 23 years, right? Because that's Jordan's number. So you see how sometimes they spit these things and might be little parables and little other coded language in it? Because I believe she said for 23 years. Every day in her marriage, 4 times a day. Like what the... And had... and had the Europeans say, oh my God, I feel sorry for your vagina. Like, cause it made no sense. Jules, salute. The elders in Miami used to say, don't go to Miami Beach. They don't want you there. And you're going to get locked up. Okay. And thanks for the super chat. I'm sure they did. But we down there. What he said, Harlem said, Jezebel energy. Yeah, but again, I just peeped that. 23. She said 23 years. If I'm not mistaken, I'll go back and check. But first of all, who do you think that you are talking to? Like, really? I just want, and I'm telling you, maybe when I get off tonight, I'm going to do the math on it because we know for an absolute fact that during the season, this man has to practice a certain amount of hours. And after practice, he was a co-captain. He has team meetings. They have travel. They do a whole lot. And we're not talking about some dude that's on a bench. We're talking about the superstar. We're talking about the number 2 man on the team, right? Having sex 4 times a day, every day. And the lady even tried to give her out. Sister said, even when they're away games, here she said, right? We were never apart, even on away games. So I'm telling you, it's only 24 hours of the day. That's it. So as an NBA player, as a job, with meetings, right? Well, he ain't had too many endorsement deals, and he wasn't, he wasn't one to be acting and doing all the extracurriculars outside of that. But just, I'm telling you, I'm gonna research this shit because she just sounds stupid. So what? I want to know what kind of sex you was having, because if it is 4 times a day, every day, can't be no long sessions. It just can't be at all. Not that many hours in a day. It's just not. Not. I could see if she would have said after he retired, we were very active. I could see that shit. But she said, no, during the entire marriage. Like, what the fuck is the matter? Excuse me, yo. What is the matter with you? But again, it leads into the agenda to keep over sexualizing the population. You understand? To keep over stimulating that thought that that's what life is just about. You understand? Because the shit just stupid. It's dumb for anyone to actually believe it, but again, it's put out there into the universe. It's just dumb. There's no other way to explain it. For 23 years? Come on. I told you, I have all type of friends, all type of associates. People that's in the porn industry don't have that much sex. They get paid for it. And they stop and start 4 times a day with somebody at the top level as an NBA player who travels. What was you doing? What was you doing? Where was you doing it at? Come on, yo. Come on, yo. And we're not talking about somebody who was consistently injured, who didn't take care of his body. You understand what I'm saying? Right, Viv. Maybe his thumb. Maybe she counted that. You know, I put his thumb in the grippers and, she counted because listen, it was somebody that was really engaged in the game and being professional at the level where this man had 2, 3 peats. And even when Mike retired, he still was in the mix. And then when Mike retired again, this man went and played for other teams. Who do you think you're talking to? That shit is dumb. Dumb. But again, you want to, for some reason, have everybody because at this point it's in the world. When you're at a certain level on social media, again, we keep saying this is global. So people are, catching these headlines all over the world. So you want the entire world to know that you bout that action. That's what you bout that action. Which has to be the weirdest shit in the world. Which happens to be the weirdest shit in the world for a woman to want the entire world to look at her in that frame. Salute, B More. What up? Salute. B More's finest salute. And again, moderators, make sure the green screen information is in effect. All right? Yes, Bernadette. Referring to do it with a black man. Again, listen. I encourage you all to listen to what these people say, to watch their body language when they're communicating, and start to, again, rip away layers. Like, rip that shit away. Start really ripping that down. Like, she said, what? Oh, really? Okay. Then you see how asinine they sound. And then when we start listening to how the politicians are speaking, you start catching it. So now you're able to see foolishness, you're able to hear foolishness, right? Like 45. 45 said, yeah, man, I'm getting ready to go down. I need all my folks to wild out. I'm going down Tuesday, y'all. What y'all gonna do? What does that actually mean? No, for real. What does that mean in the course of everything else that's going on? All the stuff that we were paying attention to this week. the weather, Miami, the banking systems are falling. The supposed nuclear waste, is that Michigan? All that supposed to be going on, right? But we miss shit like Iran and Saudi Arabia having peace talks. Or maybe I believe they had a peace agreement. Two sworn enemies, Sunni Shiite. And if it is right and exact and it's true, how powerful a statement that makes to the rest of the Islamic world. Well, black folks ain't supposed to know that though, right? Because they want to keep you saying you're ADOS, you FBA, you're Caribbean, you're blood, you're Crip, you're this, you're Northerner, you're Southerner, and all that. Huh? Others are uniting. Everybody else is forming Voltron, and we still motherfucking sipping Henny and wondering whether or not this funky ass broad is doing Michael Jordan's son the same way she did Future and Pippen. Like, come on, yo. Come on. Come on. Okay, get these green screens coming. 86 minutes. Listen, don't act like I don't have something to do. But I do. I'm trying to get it through. You know? Tim Smith, are you really bringing Charleston White to Brooklyn? Am I? Where did you get that information from? I'm trying to talk about it. Where did you get that information from? Hmm? And I want to be very clear on Charleston White said it. Well, if he said it, then there could be a little truth to it. There could be a little truth to it. But I can't bring anybody anywhere. I just don't have the resources to do it. But let me tell you this, and I'll be very clear about it. Ever since Charleston White and I have shared a screen together when we had our very first dialogue together on social media, we have maintained communication. So, is it over a year when we did that? Maybe almost 2 years now. And someone such as himself, who changes phones quite often, I've always had the new number. Always. Have we spoke? Several times. Several times. Now with this situation, there was a move made which I don't agree with. Neither do I believe anyone who is a melanated person should agree with. And that is someone going behind the scenes and making an attempt to call a shot and basically tell this man he can't come to Brooklyn. Well, to NYC. Didn't say to Brooklyn. So we had a discussion. And I said, listen, if I can make it happen, you definitely could come through and do what you do. Do I agree with everything he says or has said in his characters? Not at all. Not at all. Right? However, you dig? I've witnessed, and I know firsthand what he has done. You right? You understand? I know what he has done for his community, for youth, right? His efforts. That character and all that other stuff, nah. But if it is possible, and I definitely have reached out to certain people and places, you know, but it's a difficult task. I'm not in that lane. And it's very time consuming to make that happen. It really is. I learned that by putting myself out there like that. You dig? It was, it's ugly. It's ugly. Trust and believe is ugly. We're in a very different energy in New York City. Real bitch assness is going on. And the people who you believe would want to make sure black people are able to do the things that they, set out to do is in alignment with the others. You dig? It's very weird. Very weird. Very weird, you know? Shit is crazy. Very weird. Let's see. Do you think the character spill is a way to say outlandish and uncivilized speech? Listen, was more of a danger someone who says outlandish, right? Crazy things that, we know is just off the cuff, or someone who comes in a veil of what we may believe is truth, but behind closed doors is doing some of the worst shit ever to our people. You understand? I've sat at tables. I've sat in groups, discussions with black people, politicians, heads of parole, heads of probation, law enforcement, all type of policy makers who have sat there and in agreement said that, yeah, we need to send about 20,000 1,000 black teens and young adults to jail and put policy in place. No matter if they doing right or wrong, they are doing some wow shit. I mean, crazy. And I'm listening like, yo, these are black people. These are black people. Seriously. Women, men, under, again, the influence of what they believe in. Fraternities, sororities. Then they pledge an allegiance to New York state flags and city flags and nothing to do with our people at all. But we'll have a fez on or a RBG pin or some little weird shit. But everything in their fiber is against our people, against our kids. So, yo, I'm telling you, this character and doing what it needs to be done to get him wherever he may need to go is light in comparison to these. I've literally watched people go to bat for Euros who have hurt our children in schools, who have doctors who have hurt black women in maternity wards. Go to bat for them. Yo. Trust and believe, man. There's levels to all this stuff. And when it comes to working, when it comes to being committed, when it comes to doing things for our people, we have to be the custodians of it. Not get caught up in all the theatrics and all. It is what it is. The danger in it is when it is taken so seriously that it takes you off of your train. I don't eat from none of it. None of this shit. None of it. None of it. None of it. However, I will never, ever, ever place somebody in front of us and our people. That cannot happen. So therefore, it was discussion, man. Yeah, let me talk to you. Yo, if I can make it happen, let's go. Let's do what we do. You know? Especially when it comes to strength. When it comes to strength and allowing someone to feel, welcome to have discussion and dialogue and to really make their understanding understood, not on you dig? And I'm not going to make it a space where I'm going to acknowledge or even give recognition to the other parties. But I just buried someone who I was raised with yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who knew me and knows me. Buried them. Buried somebody who took care of me. And in the funeral and us coming from different parts of the country and different spaces in life, and I'm telling you, at 54 years old, I said it before, I cried like a baby last week, and yesterday the same thing. Publicly, nothing, no reputation, no nothing prepared me for how I had to speak at his funeral amongst the rest of the family and everything. Everybody. My father, my sister, his mother, and all his siblings, and everyone we grew up with. And when we were taking specific pictures and there were specific men together, something hit me. I said, yo, I'm looking to my left, I'm looking to my right, and I know the kind of work we put in. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm like, oh, shit. This is the first time some of us been together in a long time. And through our adolescence and young adulthoods and East New York, we some serious dudes. I know, and we all recognize each other and look, yeah, we know. So if anybody is coming and entrusting me and want to dialogue and want to come to a space where I'm at, and I have had conversations with him offline and understood and had specific understandings and discussions at length, he know he gonna be safe. And should I do it, couldn't nobody stop me or say anything other than that. Simple as that. We built different. We built different. And that's where that goes. Nah, I'm a different monster. Totally different. Totally different. You know, I understand people. I understand talk. I understand where we need to go. And I've seen people. I've witnessed people who claim to have been for us and who still to this day claim to be for us and are bullshitting. I don't see them in the street. I don't see them in the gutter. I don't see them working with and for the people who you provide solution to, and those same people tell you, kiss my ass. And you have to get back out there and work again and keep working until they're realizing that, nah, you really there with and for them. I'm witnessing them now on trips and vacations with money that people such as you yourselves send them. Send them on vacations. Send them to get buy diamonds and bags and sneakers and all this other weird, wild shit. And don't get no work done. None of it. None of it. None of it. I've seen some elders and people who they claim is power to the people, all self-esteemed, and they sitting there with government agents. Sitting there getting checks from the government. Witness this shit. Come on. Nah. I'm a different breed. You know? We have to really buckle down and get to where we have to go. What is needed. How we're going to get there. Because, yo, this shit is happening like this, man. It's happening like this. Quick, fast, in a hurry. And they're showing you every day that they are preparing for it or that they are already prepped. And we are worrying about the wrong shit. We're looking at the wrong move on the chessboard. Really. We're over emotional and under intellectual. I'm not for the games. I'm just not. I'm just not. I'm just not. So, but again, it's you know, it's very interesting where we're at as a people. And yeah, thank you for all of the condolences and things like that. But I gotta go. I gotta get up. I got things to do in the morning. I have things to do tonight. And I definitely appreciate all my moderators for doing their one too. I definitely appreciate everyone for listening, participating, sharing, adding on. Definitely that. Couple of super chats. Definitely appreciate that. You know, and again, if anyone is in need or questioning whether they're in need of anger management, life coaching, domestic violence intervention, hit me. Book an assessment. DM me on IG. Hit me on Messenger. On Twitter. What else I'm on? On anything, right? Hit me. Don't wait until your ass is on the news and you caught a case and now you saying, oh, yo, Bliz, I think I need anger management. And your ass is on the way to the pokey. No. Get it done now. Get it done now. Now. So we can find out what your triggers are. So we can calm your ass down. You understand? So you can be at your best when all the real stuff start coming. All right, so again, moderators, green screen information in there, uh, all contact information for services, and let's get it done. Let's keep our people in the right frame. Let's get them there. Let's get them there. Yes, peace, please, peace, Todd. Yes, be blessed. And again, don't believe in me. Believe in my belief in you. Right? Don't believe in me. Believe in my belief in you. Salute. Salute.